Ladies and gentlemen, we recently had the opportunity to learn about Trulio, a company that partners with police departments across the nation to offer its AI-powered assistant for police officers, and to tell us how they've been using it at their department and how it's been helping their performance, their police officers, and give us a little inside scoop of how it is actually to use this tool. We have Chief Greg Daly from the Avon Police Department joining us this morning. Chief, thank you so much for being here. Avon PD is the first police department in Colorado to use Trulio. So you guys have some experience with it, and today we're going to be learning all about it. And thanks for being here with us today.
Well, good morning, and thank you for having me. Yeah, we are the first in Colorado, so we're pretty proud of that. This is a tool that we had seen towards the end of last year, and we organized to do a pilot with the company. And as a result of that pilot, we have contracted with them as a service to the Avon Police Department. You know, there are a variety of different aspects of this particular tool. One of the aspects is that we can dictate reports. So, for example, the other night, one of my sergeants was finishing an arrest, was driving back from the hospital to Avon, and in that period was able to dictate on his way that report over, obviously, hands-free in his vehicle. So by the time he got back to the police department, the majority of the report had been written. The dictation is obviously downloaded into the Trulio app, and then there is a facility to sort of structure that into a report format with paragraphs, et cetera, And I have a little bit of an Irish accent, so I've been actually pretty impressed because I don't have a lot of success with dictation. I'll be honest with you. My Siri app is the Irish version because just the Irish, our THs, we tend to have issues with THs. But anyway, in that regard, that's one aspect of it. Another very important aspect is that it reviews all of our body camera footage. So when we dock our body cameras at the station, that body camera footage is downloaded, and in turn, Trulio analyzes all of our body cameras, all 100% of our body cameras. In that regard, then, it's analyzing it for professionalism, for the use of professional language in relation to explaining to somebody we've stopped on a traffic stop, for example, as to why we've stopped them, and being professional in our language and our communication. So it rates us on our level of professionalism. Obviously, if there's any bad language used in that interaction by the person we're dealing with, that's going to be highlighted to a supervisor. Supervisor will be able to review that and say, okay, that was the other side of this and not the officer. If, unfortunately, an officer uses a swear word, what they shouldn't be, but sometimes things occur, that will be a mentoring moment for the supervisor to sit down with that officer and say, okay, why did you say in that way? Why did you get agitated, whatever else? How can we better approach this situation and de-escalate it? The other aspect is any use of force. If we are using force, for example, we're saying taser, or that is introduced into the language, well, then that's going to be highlighted as well to the supervisor. On top of that, then we have the ability to get, in that respect, since we've been using it beginning of December, there's been 8,400 hours of body camera footage analyzed by AI. Funnily enough, they give a little information on the when we log on from an admin perspective, and it estimates that if we had sergeants, for example, review that footage, it would have cost us about $346,000 in pay to review all that. So that's a huge benefit in that regard. Another aspect of it is, I was at a Chiefs conference in October, and I was listening to the chief of Fort Collins and Boulder talk about AI assist in doing reports and whatever else. And one aspect that I didn't realize was the mental health side of it. And I was going, it took me a couple of seconds, and I was listening to them. We can have very busy shifts, and we have been working short-staffed. We've got 4 people in the academy, started a week ago, so we're hopefully going to be up to full staff towards the end of October. But in that regard, we've had a lot of stress on our officers. Sometimes they'll finish a shift being down 4 or 5 reports. Pretty heavy, meaty reports. And that can be very stressful because they know they're going to have to spend another 4 hours doing
Working on
reports,
those reports,
or coming in
exactly.
on their days off.
Yeah.
So being able to help that and be more efficient in that report process is helping them in that regard and lowering that anxiety. So I was really impressed. I didn't factor that in myself, but it was really good to hear from those two chiefs.
Yeah, maybe it's not a direct tool, or it's not a direct effect of using AI, but it is, it's relieving the officers some time, giving them a little more peace of mind. It's saving you money. It's saving you time from reviewing all of this camera footage. I think when we spoke to Anthony Tassoni, the CEO of Trulio, he said on average, I think only about 1% of body cam footage is reviewed by humans, by officers. And now the ability that this tool allows you to review 100% of it. It highlights certain areas or certain points during these conversations. I think it really is, from what I hear at least, it's a great tool to use. Are there any challenges, drawbacks? Is accuracy ever a concern? Ethics, privacy, any of those things when using a tool like this?
Excellent questions, yeah. So to address some of those things. Obviously, we are only interested in AI if it's a benevolent use of that technology.
Yeah.
We serve our community. Our mission statement of the Avon Police Department is to serve to better our community. So we would not in any way want to adopt anything that is going to be harmful to our community. Yeah. We want to be more efficient in our report writing. We want more accurate reports. We want the reports to be grammatically better, ultimately, because that goes to our district attorney's office, our town prosecutor. Both of those entities review our reports. They want them to be concise, capturing all of the facts, which lead to a better prosecution. And ultimately, from our perspective, that's getting justice for our victims. So it's a win-win in that regard. In relation to the ethics, yes, obviously, the officers have to review those reports before they submit them. So they may have been getting AI assistance, but at the end of the day, it's their report. They're swearing to the report. If they go to court, they're swearing and affirming that these facts are correct. So obviously, we're not going to go to the extent of a report is generated just by the body camera and the officer doesn't look at the report and it's just generated that way. That is not something we will do because ethically that would not be the right thing to do. When this whole conversation came up, about AI, somebody said, listen, you've been using AI for years. Siri on your iPhones is an AI product. We use AI in so many different realms of our life, but at the end of the day, we need to be using it where it's beneficial to the people that we serve. And we did a pilot on that, and we wanted to make sure we were comfortable with that. I spoke to a colleague on the East Coast that's been dealing with this particular company for quite a while, a massive sheriff's office. And so we wanted to make sure we had done our evaluation of this tool, and so far it's been a very positive experience.
Awesome. Well, it definitely sounds like AI is in the future of society, and then I'm sure it'll be in the future of police departments as well, as you try to implement these tools in the best of your ability to continue serving communities. And it sounds like that's what you guys are doing with Trulio. So thanks for giving us kind of your firsthand experience with this tool and taking the time to speak with us today.
And thank you for having me.
Thank you, Chief Daly. Avon PD, ladies and gentlemen, is the first department in Colorado to implement this tool. And here you have a little bit of that experience from Chief Daly. We're going to take a short break and we'll be back with more of the show after this. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.